Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back once again to the Hot Stocks Outlook for June 2nd, 2017. Hope you're all having a fantastic week out there in the financial markets. We're going to go ahead and look at a few stocks as we always do, but some very important points that are just extremely applicable to what we're seeing now in the overall financial market. So we're going to go ahead and start here on Waters. We got CHKP Software, Gray Television, Take-Two Interactive, American Tower. So a lot of great things to look at. But let's go ahead and dig into this and explain a couple of these really important points here. Now, with Waters Corporation here, we have all the daily price data. Really, the daily bars and candles is what we see representing our price data going back to really the beginning of April here. And so VantagePoint traders, what they're really paying attention to is this blue and the black line you see against that price data, because what this is, the blue line, is a predicted moving average. It's looking forward and forecasting where that average is expected to move in the future. And so whenever that blue line crosses above the black line, it's signaling a trend change. And obviously as traders, we want to really pay attention to trend changes, as if we get in early, there's a vastly more profitable opportunity to get involved in. So here in Waters Corporation, you see we'd gotten that crossover to the upside, the blue line crossing above the black line. And as long as that blue line remains above the black line, the trend is still forecasted up. So you see about a 15% move there over about 37 trading days. But if we look at the very bottom of the screen, you're going to see we also have this other indicator here, this 1 or 0, and this is the predicted neural index. And what this indicator is really doing is very short-term forecasting. So it's not looking at the overall trend, really looking at 48 hours forward, should we see strength or weakness in the market. And so how I like to think of it, the language you can use is almost as a throttle. If you understand where the trend is going, you can use that indicator to understand that short-term strength or weakness. When do you want to be heavier on a position, possibly day trading and doing some of these other things? But let's take a close look at this, because you'll see that a lot of times in markets you get this situation where the trend is reversed, but you see you're getting that sideways action in the market. And what's great about VantagePoint is we notice that the blue line still remains above the black line, but it's very, very tight, really saying that, look, there isn't a lot of separation between these values, and you should expect the market to trade sideways. Once you get any separation at all, plus the 48-hour index of the neural index getting bullish, you really start seeing that market move higher. So, really regardless of your trading style and how you like to interact with the market, you've got all the tools to understand what type of position you want to hold. Do you want to hold on to that longer trend? Do you want to wait for the shorter term neural index momentum and trade off of that? But what's so critically important is the last thing you want to be doing is getting out of the market over this time period, because the trend hasn't reversed, and you have to stay in these positions to obviously catch the 15 and greater percent moves that we've been seeing really a lot throughout these markets as the S&P hits those new highs. But what we're going to notice here as we go through some of these charts is there was so much really just sideways action for 2 or 3 months before this move to the upside. And so you really needed to have these positions on to capture this volatility as it comes through. So here in CHKP Software Technologies here, exact same thing. We keep things very, very simple. The blue line crosses above the black line. So we're forecasting the market to start trending higher. You see that neural index also at the same time confirming that trend reversal there. So again, as long as the blue line remains above the black line, the trend is still forecasted up or to the upside. You see about a 12% move to the upside thus far. But again, what we see with the S&P going sideways and not much going on over long periods of time is this period of time right here, where the market really runs quite flat. But we never get that blue line crossing below the black line. And a lot of people probably jumped out of their positions here, had stops get hit as they really tried to tighten them up because they became impatient. But for traders who understand that, look, the trend is up, until that blue line crosses below the black line, I'm going to maintain that overall position. And if we go ahead and drag our cursor here, you see that, that's really the bulk of the move. That's 9% of the move, $9 per share, is after that sideways action, and certainly right after a lot of people got stopped out or got out of the market there. So, so important to understand, okay, is the trend still up? Is the trend still down? And, maintain that position with your game plan, because you've got these really accurate, forecasts to help you understand what is the probabilities, what is expected to happen moving forward, so that as that volatility really comes in, you start seeing, gaps on the charts and things like this, you're already in. I mean, you've definitely recognized the trend is up, strong trend up, neural index up. And these are the trends you want to make sure that you're in and involved in, and not messing around with things that really don't have those signals in place there. So let's go ahead and move forward to gray television. And I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago as a great shorting opportunity. And what we've seen is the market is still down, that the blue line has remained below the black line, and there'd be no reason that you'd wanted to go ahead and get long this market. The market's down 16.5%, or about $2.39 per share over 21 trading days. So really just the month of May, really a great opportunity to go ahead and short the market. But what I want to bring in here also is the predicted high and low values that you get from VantagePoint. So every day you're not only going to understand, is the trend up or down, what's the short-term outlook over the next 48 hours? Is there strength or weakness in the market? But you also get a predicted range of what's the expected high or low of each trading period. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my keyboard here to bring up those predicted highs and lows. And so if you understand that the trend is down, you want to be short, look at all these great intraday levels to go ahead and add to these short positions at. And so this is where the day traders can really come in and understand, hey, at what levels do I want to be going ahead and getting involved in the market? Because the shorter and shorter term you get, with day trading, the more precise you really need to be with those entries and exits. And you see over this time, just winning trade, maybe a break-even trade right here as the neural index comes up, winning trade, winning trade, winning trade, winning. So it's really just about understanding, okay, what is my style and approach? How do I like to trade longer term, shorter term? And then go in with those tools and go ahead and execute based on the output from these really accurate indicators here. So here we've got TTWO interactive software and another example. And you see this on so many charts of just extreme volatility as the overall markets are really deciding which way they wanted to go. So we have this crossover to the upside. Neural index you see showing strong amount of strength really all throughout this move higher. And of course you want to go ahead and take that long position, stay involved in the market. We're about 30% over the past 31 trading days, about a month and a half of a total time here, a calendar time. But the last thing again that you want to be doing is getting out of the market here. You see we never got that crossover to the downside, little forecast of weakness from the neural index. But you didn't want to get out of the market because you've got what looks to be, let's see here, a 14% rally coming right after that point. So, that's really what I mean by understanding, is the trend still up? What should I expect in the short term, long term? What is my approach? And make sure that you're not jumping out of the market at these extremely inopportune times where you see that, once you really get to this trading day here, you've got the trend is up, blue line above black line, neural index short term up, and this market really getting ready to move and gap. And there's no trading the gap intraday there. So you got to have that position on and catch that volatility as it really explodes higher. American Tower here. So last opportunity we're going to go ahead and take a look at for today. But same thing, keeping this simple of blue line over black line, saying the trend is to the upside. So much strength from this neural index saying hold your position, hold your position. You see a little bit of a pullback here, that short-term 48-hour forecasting doing its job. But we actually covered this market in a recent video. So I'd encourage all of you to go back, watch some of those previous videos. There's a playlist available where you can have access to all of that content. But you see what happens here is as long as that blue line remains above the black line, you certainly wanted to maintain that position. There's another 8% move higher just over the last 36 trading days. So this is why it's so critical to have these adaptive tools that help you know what to expect in the market moving forward and help you adapt to those conditions. And that's really what it's all about. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Please go ahead, again, watch the playlists and content that's available. Leave some questions and comments and anything that you have down below in the comments section available. And as always, thank you for watching. Best of luck to you guys out there in the markets. This has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for June 2nd, 2017. Thanks again, guys. Best of luck and bye for now.